Hey everyone, it's Joe, the 50-something Dasher, with a spur-of-the-moment video here. I just came up with the idea for this video maybe only a half hour ago. I only spent about 15 minutes throwing together the images that you'll see here. Nothing fancy, but that's how I roll on this channel. It's the information that's most important, and that's what counts. Uh, but this is going to be my ranking from fifth place to first place. The 5 gig apps that I'm on, and right now how I would rank them for me in to start 2025. Now, if you've been a subscriber of the channel and watched a lot of my content, nothing's gonna come as a surprise here. You can pretty well you guys will be able to guess how I'm going to rank these and what's going to be number one. But there are some people that are new to the channel, new subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing. Appreciate it very much. And maybe I'll get some other brand new viewers to the channel, and this will all be like new to them. As far as like how I would rank these 5 gig apps for me, and this is my experience and my zone. So I just wanted to emphasize that because, as we all know, this is market dependent. You know how I would rank things 1 to 5. Somebody out in another state somewhere, they may run the same gig apps that I do, and for them, it's in the completely different order as far as which one is their best to worst. Um, so anyway, let's get started here. So these are my 5 apps that you see here that I run on when I do gig work. On the days that I don't work my W-2. And let's dive right into it, starting with, we'll go worst to first, and starting at number 5 is DeliverThat. This when I first this was the second gig app that I ever downloaded, and when I first started out on it, this looked really promising for me, and I got a couple good orders on it, and then they changed things. And this has been like a couple, I don't know, 2-3 months ago, whenever it was, when they got rid of the tip pool on easy cater orders. And then for like a couple weeks after that, all I would see is just straight $25 orders. That's nothing else. I could not expect to see anything else. And that was for like a couple weeks. And then, like the last couple months or however long it's been, I have not seen anything on there. Absolutely nothing. I mean, this app for me just completely died off. I still turn it on just about every day that I do gig work. I turn it on, and I mark myself available, and I have it on the screen where it says, if you get any offers, you'll see it on this screen, and I'm available on that screen, and I just don't see anything. So I don't know if it dried up in my market, or there's now an overabundance of drivers, or I have no idea. But this app is just not doing anything for me at all whatsoever. Can't, even if I wanted to, can't make any money on it. So that's number 5. Number 4 is Roadie. And I have only I signed up for this a couple months ago in November, and I think it was the very next day. I was out of town when I signed up for it, and then I come back into town next day, and did just one order. It's just like a pharmacy order, like a $6 or $7 delivery. And I did that just to get on there and see what doing an order was like. And that's all I've done. So I've made like, and that was November 10th of 2024. I've not done an order since. I get on there, I look at the map, and in my area, Southwest Columbus, Ohio, I really only see like I'll see occasionally some CVS orders. I'll see some Home Depot, just a couple different things. Now, in other parts of Central Ohio, I'll see some other types of orders. Um, but as far as like closer to me, I only see a couple different things, and they're always like in that $6 to $7 range. So I don't think I've ever seen anything, $10 or more. And even some of like other offers that I see for other parts of Central Ohio, even some of those larger paying orders, there's sometimes like I saw one order that was like it was for $50. Okay. Oh, you're like, oh wow, $50. Well, hold on a second. There was 100 miles to be driven on that, and I'm dead serious. It was a $50 offer. I forget the size of the how many items to be picked up or any of that stuff. I forget now on that. But yeah, it was picking up somewhere here in Central Ohio and literally delivering 100 miles away. So, or I'll see some of the kind of higher pay, $20 to $30 orders, something like that. Maybe it's not as many miles, but it's like a huge, or it's like 2,000 pounds of freight. It's like a whole skid of something or something like that. So, um, yeah, if this one, unlike DeliverThat, like if for whatever reason I got deactivated off the other three apps and I had nothing, I could make money on Roadie, but I mean trying to make it profitable, from what I've seen in these last couple months in my area, it would be really tough. I could make money, but would I be profiting at all after expenses? I don't know on that one. Let's move on and go to number three. And things start to get a little better here. Number three is Shipt, the grocery shopping app. And I want to say I've done eight orders for them, something like 8 or 9 orders, something like that. And I don't have written down on my notes when I got started for Shipt. I don't know, it's probably, uh, I think it was before Roadie. It was probably like October, something like that. It's just the thing about Shipt is I really don't like the fact that that you only see a base pay, and customers tip or they don't tip, after the fact, and you have no idea. You have to accept an offer. You have to assume that you're not going to get a tip. So that's the thing, is that's why I haven't taken the Shipt offers are there, and there's some, sometimes some halfway decent offers that I see, but you're really gambling here without not knowing if there's going to be a tip or not. Like I said, I want to say I've done 8 deliveries. I've only received a tip on 2 of those orders. And one of them, I think, was just a $2 tip, if I'm not mistaken, and the other one was a $3 tip. So, um, yeah, that's the thing. It's just what I don't like about Shipt is that I have to assume that I'm not going to get a tip. So it has to be, for me to take something, it has to be picking up in my zone and pretty much also delivering here too. I mean, I'm not going to take a shopping order with a base pay of like $10 and delivering like 8 miles away and not knowing if there's going to be a tip or not. It's a very good chance that's not going to be profitable for me. So, um, but again, just like with Roadie, if I absolutely had to for whatever reason, if Shipt was all that I had to work with, I have a better chance of getting on there and making money and be profitable. I have a better chance with Shipt than I do Roadie. Okay, so now to number two is going to be, what's it going to be here? DoorDash, Uber, DoorDash. Let's see. Number two is Uber. Um, so uh, it it's I so if you're new to the channel, actually started with Uber food delivery back in like 2017. I did it for maybe like a month, 6 weeks, something like that. At that time it was extremely low paying. That's why I didn't last long doing it. And then I not too long, a few months ago, got reactivated and started using it again. At first, I was not seeing hardly, just barely anything good at all whatsoever. But it's just been here in the last maybe like 2 to 3 weeks. Well, let's just say the start of 2025. Let's just go with that. Here in 2025, there's been parts of my shifts where I log on and early in the mornings, I'm actually to start a shift with, I'm getting better offers for a little stretch like with Uber than I am DoorDash. So I'll get 2 or 3 good orders there, and then it kind of then I'll see something good on DoorDash and then work with them for 3 or 4 deliveries or whatever. So sometimes they kind of for me in my market, those two kind of are now, I wouldn't say on the same level, but it's the gap is kind of closed. I do see some decent um, orders on Uber Eats, and I really like how they've added the shopping orders, shopping pays to Uber as well. So, and I've seen some good shopping orders on there. Um, and but one kind of bad thing, at least for me personally, with Uber is I don't. The only kind of downside is I don't really have a whole lot of experience with them. So I've done like over 3,000 or 3,500 orders, whatever it is with DoorDash. I haven't even done 100 orders lifetime with Uber. So I don't have the experience. I don't know like all the ins and outs, and I don't have like I'm not a pro with Uber, so to speak, and I don't really know much about how to contact their support people. I'm not really that knowledgeable and comfortable with that yet. Um, so those are kind of the downsides for me with Uber. But I have gotten decent orders off of it. I do see kind of like regular orders, and some of them are decent. So it's a becoming more and more of a promising app for me. Number one, we've already eliminated the other four, so you know by now what number one is. Here we go, right here. DoorDash. There it is, right here. The number one app for me. Winner is DoorDash. I started with DoorDash in December of 22. So it's been a little over 2 full years now, and so I've done really well. So when I first got on, I had no idea what to expect. How much money I was losing hours at my W-2 and losing pay. I needed something to supplement my income. I had no idea what like I said, what to expect with DoorDash. I didn't know if I'd make I don't know, like $100 a week, or what to expect at all. Well, I ended up getting to a point where once I got into it, and got into a schedule and a routine, and got comfortable with it, got good at it. I was up to $100 a day and making $400 a week. And it got to a point where even for a short time period, DoorDash was my primary source of take home income. I was making more from that than my W 2. DoorDash, the powers that be there, I applied to get on the DoorDash Community Council, and they were really impressed with my story and everything that I just said here. And so I was able to get selected to serve on the council. And I served on that for 6 months, the first half of 2024. And then by way of being on the DoorDash Council, that one of the benefits from that is I was able to get lifetime platinum status with DoorDash. So I can dash anytime. I don't have to meet the metrics, like the acceptance rate and all the different metrics that other dashers have to meet to get the platinum status. I don't have to meet those numbers. Um, and I'm prioritized on shopping orders. I see really good shopping orders on there. I occasionally, once every blue moon, I'll still see a catering order. Just had one maybe like the week before last, a good catering order. So DoorDash is still number one for me. And it's it, since I got that lifetime platinum status, it's and most of these gig apps have some kind of tiered system. Okay, for me personally, in my situation, my market, DoorDash is probably going to be number one for me for maybe the long term, because I'm quite frankly not, in all likelihood, going to be um, whatever tiered programs the other apps have. I'm not going to be able to get to the same type of level with them as I've gotten with DoorDash. If whatever Uber's top tier system is, to be able to get some kind of lifetime status on their highest tier, it's probably not going to happen. So, um, like I said, DoorDash is number one for me, and probably going to remain number one. And then a couple apps that I could not put in this list because I'm still on a waiting list. I'm not on the apps yet. Is Instacart and Amazon Flex. So each one of those I've been on the wait list for several months now and still haven't got on. So you know, at some point down the road, I'll be able to do it. Hopefully, another list like this and be able to add more apps onto it. My wife thought this was funny. I was telling her the other day that my New Year's resolution for 2025 was to get off of the Amazon Flex wait list. So that's my New Year's resolution. But anyway, that's all I have for now. Hope you guys got something out of this video. And thanks for watching. As always, be sure to drive safe out there, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks again.